Alright, here we are on Ancient Cistern once again. Spawning in the southwestern side. Playing with the blue Zerg pieces, sporting that sick Berserker logo. It is DIMAGA. And on the opposite side of the map, sporting the red Terran pieces with the hot-headed gaming icon there. Nice to see. It is JEROS. It is kind of nice to see some of these, it is nice to see some of these teams getting some representation in tournaments. Like, I definitely know Berserker's been putting in a lot of time and work trying to get new players. Hot-headed gaming as well. It's good to see some of these teams still prospering in this age of StarCraft 2. Maybe there's a chance we get to see them in Stormgate whenever that comes out. Alright, SCV is going to be moving across the map, do a little bit of scouting. Fairly standard build out of both players so far. Nothing to really write home about, as usual. SCV just kind of moseying across. You know, actually, I want to talk about the SCV for just a second. Whenever you join up with the Dominion, or I guess with whatever mining guild you're signing with, do you think that they tell you in your contract, like, you may be sent out to look at our enemy's base? You may be sent out and about just to you know, take a peek. Or what if there's like some kind of flowery language, like lawyer language that they use to, because that's gotta be a terrible job to have to like go and like look at a Zerg hive cluster and just be like, yep, we're in trouble. Potentially get killed by a couple of Zerglings. If you're unfortunate to be in my army, you also get put at their third base location and have to actually fight. Actually gets the kill on that creep tumor. That's super unfortunate for DIMAGA. I know some Zergs, like, basically, it's almost like a superstition. If this first creep tumor gets taken out, they're just like, well, the game's over. Alright, JEROS actually going into a, I believe this is a 3cc Banshee build. Yeah, it's actually, yeah, that's a 3cc Banshee build. Alright, DIMAGA gets the second creep tumor out. Looks like everything's going to be fine and dandy. Hellions coming out now for the Terran player. Starport finishing up here momentarily. Just being pretty active, just poking around, making sure that everything is in order. A couple of Hellions will be joining him very soon. Oh, this is actually going to be Battle Cruiser. Okay. Alright, third CC is finished up. Fusion core is on the way. Oh. Looks like there might have been an issue and they had to restart from replay. So I do know there have been some power issues recently in Ukraine, among a lot of other occurrences. Might have been part of the issue there. Hellions or more Hellions are coming to join up. I'm trying to get some kind of I'm trying to find some like little chip in the armor to go after, and DIMAGA actually has a very, very nice setup of queens. JEROS is going to have a hard time breaking into this. But at the same time, if you can just kind of keep DIMAGA focused on the front for when that battlecruiser comes knocking on the door, it could be a good thing. I don't think DIMAGA is actually going to see this coming. Another poke on the queens real quick. I actually might be able to slip around here just a little bit. Queens are a little bit out of position. Oh yeah, here he goes. He's going to clean up one creep tumor at least. A bit unfortunate pathing there. DIMAGA is just kind of continuing to drone up like crazy here. Not particularly worried about this these Hellions. He has a really nice defensive position here at the front. He's not sweating it. Both players are continuing to macro up at home. Battlecruiser is going to be finishing up here momentarily. Swapping add-ons and whatnot to get that optimal unit production going. Looks like we're going to be going into siege tanks for the Terran player. Always a good call. Battlecruiser is going to be warped in. Now there is a queen and a spore colony crawler already here. And this is not Brood War. Actually manages to get 6. Yeah, it looks like he's going to get 6 kills. We're going to be happy with that. Head home. The rest of the queens are coming in now. Now I believe JEROS is going to be done with the battlecruiser production for now. So DIMAGA really only needs these queens to be able to push it back. Yeah, and I think for now it's just going to kind of poke out and try and clear a couple of overlords. Maybe some creep, potentially. Really depends. And JEROS here is actually putting a decent amount of pressure on DIMAGA currently. It's going to take out another overlord. This is going to be... yeah, DIMAGA's going to have to spend a lot of money on replacing these overlords. Alright, sick transfuse there. Finally, the battlecruiser is going to be sent home. I hope that's going to get repaired here soon. Never want to go out into the field with busted equipment. I feel like it goes doubly for multi-million credit starships. I actually don't know how much a battlecruiser costs in StarCraft credits. It's a good question. Battlecruiser is going to get repaired there. Alright, DIMAGA is going to be grabbing that safety spire just in case. Two medevac drop is going to be moving out across the maps. JEROS is going to try and do some multi-pronged pressure here. DIMAGA's creep spread is absolutely insane. He is already across the map with it. JEROS is not going to be having any of it. He's going to be dropping here with his drop. Going to be taking out some of these creep tumors. Now, DIMAGA is going to be... This map is actually smaller than I thought. My god. It is really a stone's throw from one side of the... From, like, JEROS' third base to DIMAGA's fourth. Alright, he is going to try and distract DIMAGA here while his battlecruiser is on the south side of the map. It looks like just taking out some creep tumors, trying to be a little bit annoying. There are a couple of queens moving towards that side of the map. But I think the real issue... Oh, actually... The battlecruiser almost got trapped, but it looks like it's going to be fine. It's going to get away here momentarily. He sees that the queens are moving kind of out of position. He's going to try and get into this fourth base again. Siege tanks are going to be sieging up on the backside. I think +1/+1 just finished up with the bio, so this is going to be an incredible timing here for JEROS. DIMAGA, meanwhile, going for a massive surround here. This is going to get very scary for JEROS very quickly. He's going to try and split up here just a little bit, pulling the Marines back as far as he can. And it looks like the siege tanks are actually able to take out... Oh, these Baileys don't actually have speed. This is actually super... Well, I was going to say this is super unfortunate for DIMAGA, but it actually cleans up pretty well, even without the Bailey speed. I'm not sure if JEROS was actually... maybe he wasn't target firing with the tanks or something. I'm not sure. This battlecruiser continuing to be a pain in DIMAGA's side. JEROS actually going for a fourth base. He's 7 workers behind, but at the same time, I mean, a Terran mining from 4 bases is definitely worth more than a Zerg mining from 4 bases. A couple of changelings there gonna... Oh boy. Mines are trying to bury here. It looks like, yeah, JEROS is gonna have to just pick up and leave. This is just, it's too much Zerg. Fortunately, the Widow Mine is taken out before it gets to do anything. Battlecruiser is kind of idly sitting here. The most expensive scout in the world is 400-300 battlecruiser. Right, so JEROS is actually switching to Widow Mine production here. Grabbing a couple of Liberators, always a good call. It'll be interesting to see whether he tries to use this for the... it looks like he's just trying to use them as a harassment tool, which I don't know. I feel like it's a good call. Battlecruiser once again getting pushed away by the Queens. Trying to get something done here, but not really accomplishing a lot. DIMAGA continuing to tech up here. Hive is on the way. Hydralistion just finished up. Ooh, ooh. JEROS a little bit slow on the splitting there. Does manage to pick up, though. Saves us some of his Marines. Not going to be the end of the world. He's going to try and jump. This is very greedy out of JEROS. He's going to try and get this 5th base, but yeah, DIMAGA was already there. This is a bit ambitious. Might be able to come back for it later. If you look in the production queue, we do have a couple of mutas that are going to be harassing JEROS fairly soon as well. We do have the battlecruiser still being a nuisance. I'm actually surprised that this battlecruiser is still getting some form of damage done. All right, JEROS once again trying to push towards the northern side of the map. Ooh, I actually get some decent... Ooh, really nice there. DIMAGA tries to get a Widowmine drag going, but JEROS actually unburrowing them to make sure that they don't connect with his units. That being said, he is getting pushed back all the way to his map. There hasn't been a lot of Baneling detonations. It looks like there's actually going to be enough now to clean up everything that JEROS has. Really well, really good micro there from DIMAGA. Alright, JEROS is actually sort of reset here. Only having, well, no, he's actually going to rebuild army fairly quickly here. It's one of the upsides of Bio is that you can replace it fairly quickly. DIMAGA still has a couple of mutilings, that's what I meant. Mutalisk here, saving them for a little bit of harassment when he can. That being said, JEROS is aware of their presence now, so I'm going to build a couple of just a couple of missile turrets. Also going to try to push out on the map again, but unfortunately DIMAGA just has control right now. A couple of Mutalisks are going to be bouncing into the main base real quick, but you know, JEROS has a couple of reinforcement units. It's going to be more than enough for 4 Mutalisk. So it looks like we might see a bit of a slowdown here, as I don't think DIMAGA going for... Oh, actually, hold that thought. Big attack here from DIMAGA. Decent splits coming out of JEROS. Oh no, he's going to lose a lot of workers from those Bane... What? Really? Well, 8 workers do go down. I did expect a lot more, though. I mean, he was really up in that mineral line. So what I was saying is I expect that this game is going to slow down here a little bit. We are getting into the late game. And that's usually when Terran's going to want to start to sit back and take more cost-efficient trades. JEROS does also have the option of trying to just end the game, but I think at this point DIMAGA has enough bases and enough workers to just kind of constantly outproduce the Terran player as long as he's keeping up with his larva injects and everything. But you know, DIMAGA's a pro player. It's almost just to be expected. So I think JEROS can either try to end the game here, or he can just kind of sit back and kind of play a more of a Maru-esque style. 5th base is up and running for the Terran player now. It's going to try and do a little bit of multi-prong, drag DIMAGA's attention into multiple different directions. DIMAGA is going to try and set up for a bit of a Ling run by here, but this is a planetary fortress. It's not going to be able to do too much. Maybe actually turns these into... No? Alright, we do have an engagement here at the top of the map. DIMAGA is actually a little bit scared. What is our... We do have 3 factories. Okay, so we do have more siege tank production. We do have Ghost coming out now, so he is going to kind of... It looks like JEROS is going to try and be copacetic with sitting back here a little bit and just kind of setting up these really defensive positions that DIMAGA just has to bust over and over and over again and be really cost efficient. That being said, he also has this drop here down to the south. Actually going to cancel that 3rd base. Oh, JEROS, you got to pick up and go. You got to pick up and go. This is your harassment unit. Oh, 1 commando is going to live to tell the tale and move away. Actually, JEROS might have been focused on this northern engagement here. Yeah, that unfortunately, the commando goes down. Alright, JEROS trying to set up here. Big spread. Does take out a couple of the creep tubers. Going to be able to push DIMAGA back here just a little bit. Oh, this battlecruiser is actually taking out a decent number of drones. It looks like it is going to be cleaned up by the Hydralisk, though. It looks like DIMAGA is trying to set up for a big... Oh, ooh, actually... Not sure if JEROS was quite paying attention there. This army is going to be completely cleaned up. Unfortunately, he was just kind of too far out in the open, I would say. And it was a fight that DIMAGA wanted to take. Now DIMAGA is significantly ahead in army supply. JEROS is going to have a hard time reclaiming some of that army supply. And DIMAGA is going to be just kind of moving into the natural. GG is going to be called. DIMAGA is going to take game number 1. Really impressive there out of DIMAGA. Yeah, unfortunately, it looked like in that last engagement, JEROS was just a little bit too far out in the open. It was a good hustle, though. It looked like JEROS was in a pretty good position in a couple of spots. With that being said, we're going to hop into game number 2 here. This time on Grezvin. Spawning in the top left-hand position. The blue Zerg pieces. Absolutely putting on a clinic. This for this group. It is DIMAGA. Spawning in the bottom right hand side, excuse me, with the red Terran pieces. It is JEROS. Alright, looks like no shenanigans so far. We don't see workers sneaking off to the corners of the maps. No double gases from the Terrans. No sneaky proxy hatches from the Zergs. All of it on the level. All of it standard. So every once in a while, you may not want to play against it, but every once in a while I do like casting a good proxy hatch game. I do enjoy a good proxy hatch game. Especially something like a la, like Scarlet's Roach build. That was pretty neat. That one's pretty neat. But no. Today's going to be the day of standard games. I am mixing up my words so bad today. The day of the standard game. Which is fine. I do enjoy some good macro matches. Sometimes the beginning parts of it leave something to be desired because the players do the same thing every single time, but it definitely gets more interesting and more interesting to cast as the game goes on. That's kind of the difference, right? Like if you see a cheesy match, it's interesting to cast right from the get-go, but can get a little bit bland if one of the players sticks around for a bit too long. Whereas it's the complete inverse with a macro game. I guess you should talk about the macro a little bit here. Actually, I probably should, because this is just the same thing. DIMAGA going for that third base. JEROS grabbing that factory. Second base is going to be finishing up here fairly soon. Actually, did he go Reaperless? No, he does have a Reaper. Okay. Almost takes out one of the drones. JEROS' Reaper actually getting some work done. A little bit of wasted money here and there. Maybe he's going to try and get the creep tumor. Might get the creep tumor. Oh, so close. So close. That was 1 health. That was a 1 health tumor. Man. I'm going to continue poking at the hatch. Just being an absolute nuisance. Looks like starport first for JEROS. Pushing the queen away just to get a couple more shots off of the hatchery. Like you're just doing a little bit of chip damage, man. Oh man, I love this game. Yep, fairly standard Hellion opener. Banshees this time? I'm assuming Banshees this time because we do not see a... No. No, this is double belt. No, this is Banshee. What is the second starport? Oh, are we going to see double Banshee starport? This Reaper continuing to be a nuisance. Hellions just kind of poking, prodding around. Nothing too out of the ordinary so far. Okay, but Cloak's not being researched. Hyperflight Rotors isn't being researched. But there's no fusion core or anything. What is this? Alright, there we go. Cloak. Oh, no. Hyperflight. Cloak's going to be done on the other one. Okay. JEROS. I'm so happy. This is the second time. We saw it in Group B, and we're going to see it again in Group D. The Banshee is back, baby. Or I should say Hyperflight Banshees. Hyperflight Banshees are back. Yes. Third base going down for JEROS now. Yeah, Hellion Hit Squad was poking around trying to find some areas for damage. I didn't see anything on the minimap. I'm too excited about the Banshees, though. I cannot believe it. This is the second week in a row that we're going to see somebody go for the Hyperflight Banshees. I will be honest. I haven't been keeping up with the pro tournaments as much recently, so there probably have been pros that have been experimenting with it a little bit. I haven't noticed it, though. You know, grabbing a couple Crete tumors here and there always kind of helps. Just kind of keeping DIMAGA's attention on the front, on his creep. Cloak and Hyperflight will be finishing up here momentarily. So I imagine the follow-up for this has to be mech, right? Pretty sure it has to be mech. JEROS continuing to poke up at the front. We do have some spore crawlers at some of these bases. 9 queens. Boy, this is going to be kind of interesting. Does DIMAGA know? Ooh, this is actually pretty bad for JEROS. Getting all of the Hellions caught, super unfortunate. Got a little bit too greedy with them and paid the price. Let me check. I need to check. No, DIMAGA doesn't know. It's interesting that he put a spore crawler here. Oh, he's going to know about it now. God, these Banshees are so fast. They're zooming. They're zooming around the map. Go, creep. Go, go, go. Alright, here we go. He's trying to kind of pick off the queen, staying just outside of detection range, but DIMAGA pulling his queens back as far as they'll go. Oh, whoops. Yeah, well. Oh, actually, big push of Zerglings here. Unfortunately, it looks like the Banshees didn't really get too much damage done. But he is continuing to build Banshees, so this is going to get very interesting very quickly. DIMAGA actually going for a Roach Horn. I'm not sure. I guess he knows that this is going to be a mech game. That's my biggest assumption. Losing a Banshee there, a bit unfortunate. And it looks like JEROS is going to kind of transition into a mech game here. 2 more factories are going to be on the way. Actually, 3 have already been done. Looks like he's going to go for Battle Mech before getting into the more beefy mech composition. Actually, just kind of being annoying with these Banshees. Taking out creep tumors where he can. Keeping DIMAGA kind of contained to his side of the map for the most part. And unfortunately, he is losing the Banshees. Hyperflight just isn't quite fast enough to outrun the spines of the queens. But that being said, I mean, this is a lot of creep getting cleaned up. I'm actually not sure what the up down is on using scans to clear this much creep versus dropping mules, but I feel like JEROS, this is something that JEROS probably has thought about before and knows how many scans he can use until it's not worth it. 4th base about 2/3 of the way done for JEROS. DIMAGA now mining from his 4th. Hydralisking on the way now. so it looks like we're going to see a little bit of a... Oh, no, here we go. Battle Mech Banshee. Oh my gosh. I love it. That being said, though, there's a lot of Zerg here, and if DIMAGA can actually pressure this Hellion Cyclone group into a corner, it's going to get very sketchy for him very quickly. Unfortunately, he's already back to his base. DIMAGA continuing to push. He's going to be able to take out some of those Banelings. 9 SCVs do go down to a couple of Banelings that move into the mineral line. And yeah, if you look here, Battlemech just really cannot stand up very well to enemy forces. The moment Battlemech has to stop and fight, it is very, very bad for the Battlemech. Hellions and Cyclones are basically made out of paper. The Banshees, however, did provide a lot of firepower there, so it wasn't quite the end of the world. JEROS trying to take this 4th base location, setting up a planetary. DIMAGA trying to contest it, but not really a lot of units here to do so. Alright, here we go. We are now getting into the late game here. JEROS is starting to up his siege tank production. I imagine going to be playing a more passive style. DIMAGA, probably we're going to see him take more bases. He's actually sticking to a bit of more of a kind of a low tech army here. Roaches, Ravagers. There are a couple of Hydralisks thrown in there. But actually, kind of a complex army if we think about it. That is a Lingbane Hydra Ravager. Yeah, DIMAGA slowing down here a little bit. Banshees are actually still continuing to be annoying. But, ooh, big move out. It's going to be moving into JEROS' 4th base. There's actually not enough units here to defend. Tanks are going to be immediately taken out. Banelings just rip SCVs apart, and the planetary fortress is going to fall. There is... Oh my god. Yeah, once again, the Battlemech is being forced into a tight corner. The Roaches and Ravagers should be able to clean this up fairly effectively. One more tank stands between this army and the main, or the natural of JEROS. There are a couple of Thors just popped out. So JEROS is going to be able to hold this, but he has lost a lot of units, unfortunately. He lost his 4th base. He's getting another one here soon, but lost 31 workers in that engagement. Very, very difficult for him to come back into this. His army has been kind of ripped apart, and it is very difficult to replace some of those mech units. DIMAGA, just the absolute macro machine. 89 workers, just absolutely pumping out units. He's going to have another wave ready here momentarily, and it's going to be up to JEROS to actually be able to hold it. Now, this is still kind of a more Battlemech oriented army, so this is going to get kind of sketchy for him very quickly, because he just doesn't have anywhere to run, really. Here we go. DIMAGA is actually going to push into the 3rd base location. JEROS is going to move in, try to contest this. There's only one siege tank here. GG is going to be called. And DIMAGA takes game number 2. Oh, what a game.